You've been told your whole life, in whispers and implications, that masturbation was a phase of youthful exploration, something you'd gracefully grow out of as you settled into the quieter years of marriage and maturity, that after a certain age, it was simply over, a chapter closed. But here is the liberating biological truth that no one in the medical community, until now, has had the courage to state plainly. After 60, masturbation isn't just a normal, occasional activity. It could very well be the critical, underutilized lever that determines the difference between staying vibrantly, proactively healthy and passively, gradually declining into a state of compromised function and muted vitality. I'm Dr. Evelyn Reed, a urologist who has dedicated the last 7 years of my practice exclusively to helping men navigate the complex hormonal and vascular shifts of their later years, to reclaiming a sense of agency and vitality that many fear is lost forever. And I have sat across from hundreds of intelligent, capable men in my office, watching firsthand how a toxic combination of cultural misinformation and deep-seated, internalized shame can quietly, insidiously steal away the quality of life they have worked so hard to earn. Today, I want to pull back the curtain completely and share with you 7 essential, science-backed secrets about masturbation that every man over 60 should have been taught decades ago. Knowledge that has the power to fundamentally reshape your physical health and emotional well-being. But first, let me ask you a direct and personal question. If one simple, private, and entirely natural daily habit could measurably improve your mood, sharpen your mental focus, boost your energy levels, and fortify your long-term health, wouldn't you feel compelled to know exactly what it is and how to do it correctly? Before we dive into these life-changing secrets, do me a quick favor that will serve your own health journey. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and comment below telling me where you are watching from. That way, you will never miss another honest, science-backed insight crafted specifically for men in your exact stage of life, men who are ready to take control. From my clinical experience, I can tell you that most men over 60 make one of 2 huge, detrimental mistakes. They either continue to masturbate mindlessly, as a rushed, mechanical function devoid of presence or intention, or they stop completely, convinced by outdated societal messages that it is no longer appropriate, necessary, or even possible. Both of these paths, though they seem like opposites, lead to the same unfortunate destination: the quiet, gradual erosion of your physical health, your delicate hormonal balance, and even your foundational confidence. The reality, grounded in robust physiology, is that how you touch yourself, the specific frequency with which you engage, and most importantly, the conscious intention behind the act can have a profound and measurable impact on your circulating testosterone levels, the health of your cardiovascular system, and even the cognitive function of your brain. Done right, with mindful awareness and a focus on sensation rather than goal, it becomes a powerful therapeutic tool that improves critical blood flow to all your organs, enhances the depth and restorative quality of your sleep, and acts as a natural stabilizer for your mood. Done wrong, through either neglect, shame, or mechanical misuse, it can inadvertently contribute to the development or worsening of erectile dysfunction, foster feelings of depression and isolation, and exacerbate common prostate issues that many men mistakenly believe are just an inevitable part of aging. This conversation is not about morality. It is squarely about the undeniable interplay of physiology and psychology, and it is high time we started treating this topic with the seriousness and nuance it deserves for the preservation of men's health. Let's begin immediately by breaking down these 7 secrets in detail so you can reclaim definitive control over your health, your pleasure, and the overall narrative of your life. Secret 1, which is perhaps the most common issue I see in my clinic, is that mindless, routine masturbation can directly cause penile numbness and outright erectile dysfunction. Here is the first harsh truth most men never hear from their general practitioners, until the problem has become deeply entrenched and much harder to reverse. Rushing through the act as quickly as possible, or mentally disconnecting from the physical sensation while you do it, actively trains your body and brain into a state of sexual dysfunction. I have had countless men over 60 come into my office, their eyes filled with a quiet shame, whispering confessions like, "I just don't feel much of anything down there anymore," or, "I can't seem to climax unless I use a very specific, strenuous routine, and even then it's a struggle." Here is the precise neurological reason why this happens. Your brain is a pattern recognition machine, and it forms a powerful, self-reinforcing neurological loop based on whatever repetitive stimulation you provide it. It learns, quite literally, what you teach it. Over time, if you consistently teach it to respond only to intense, speedy, or fantasy-driven stimulation, your genuine physical sensitivity to subtle, pleasurable touch drops, your natural, robust erection quality fades, and real-life intimacy with a partner begins to feel difficult, unsatisfying, and even anxiety-provoking. Please understand this clearly. The body itself is not broken or past its prime. It has simply been overtrained in the wrong direction, like an athlete practicing with poor form until injury occurs. This mindless, disconnected approach can lead directly to what we clinically term porn-induced erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, delayed ejaculation, or even a complete inability to climax with a partner. Emotionally, this destructive cycle erodes your core confidence, your capacity for intimacy, and your fundamental right to experience joy in your own body. Physically, it trains your nervous system to respond only in very specific, artificial ways, effectively shutting down its vast, natural capacity for varied and profound pleasure. The solution, therefore, is not to stop altogether, but to consciously slow down, be present, and patiently reconnect with your body as if you are rediscovering it. Touch, sensation, and mindful awareness, not speed, not force, not fantasy, are your most important tools for retraining and revitalizing your sexual response. Secret 2, which often comes as the biggest surprise to my patients, is that not masturbating at all can actively sabotage your prostate health. Here is a secret almost no one in mainstream medicine tells older men, leaving them in the dark about a significant and preventable health risk. Actively avoiding ejaculation altogether, whether due to shame, lack of partner, or belief it's unhealthy, can lead to a tangible physical condition known as prostate congestion and subsequent inflammation. Let me make this tangible with a real-world example from my practice. A man we will call David, a vibrant 68-year-old who came to me feeling frustrated and exhausted. He was waking up 5 to 6 times every single night with an urgent need to urinate, and he was feeling a constant, dull pelvic pressure and discomfort throughout his day. During our consultation, he revealed, with some embarrassment, that he hadn't ejaculated in years, believing that his lack of sexual activity and these urinary symptoms were just an inevitable, if inconvenient, part of getting older. The biological truth, however, is starkly different. The prostate gland is a factory that does not simply shut down production because you have a few more birthdays. It continues to produce seminal fluid. When that fluid isn't released through regular ejaculation, it builds up within the gland's intricate network of ducts, leading to physical swelling, inflammation, and considerable discomfort, which directly impacts urinary function. Frequent, healthy ejaculation, on the other hand, acts as a natural flush for the prostate's plumbing system. It helps to clear out the accumulated fluid and old cells, reduces inflammation, dramatically improves sleep by reducing the frequency of nocturnal urination, and may even lower your long-term risk of prostate cancer. Compelling research from Harvard University even shows that men who ejaculated at least 21 times per month had a significantly lower risk, by about 1/3, of developing prostate cancer compared to those who did so less frequently. The practical, actionable takeaway from this is clear and undeniable. Regular self-release isn't just about fleeting pleasure or stress relief. It is a cornerstone of proactive prostate health and a legitimate strategy for cancer prevention, as vital as a healthy diet and regular exercise. Secret 3, which addresses a deep emotional wound, is that the shame surrounding self-touch actively and measurably damages your mental health. Shame is a silent, weightless, but devastating force that many older men carry like a lead blanket, often stemming from childhood religious teachings or powerful cultural taboos that falsely labeled self-touch as dirty, wrong, selfish, or weak. This chronic, internalized shame is not just a fleeting feeling. It has a direct and damaging biological impact on your body. It can chronically elevate your cortisol levels, your body's primary stress hormone, while simultaneously reducing the production of dopamine and oxytocin, the very neurochemicals responsible for feelings of pleasure, reward, and social bonding. This negative hormonal shift can worsen sleep quality, destabilize mood, and impair cognitive function over time. Biologically, your ancient nervous system interprets this kind of internal suppression and guilt as a form of persistent danger, triggering a low-grade but constant stress response that wears down your entire system. Emotionally, This internal conflict relentlessly erodes your sense of self-worth and personal comfort in your own skin. The solution is to consciously and courageously make the decision to reconnect with your body without the burden of this archaic guilt. To begin the process of reframing masturbation not as a secret vice but as a healthy, normal, and necessary act of self-care and bodily maintenance, no different than stretching or hydrating. Start small, with no pressure and no expectation of a specific outcome, just a firm commitment to presence and non-judgmental bodily awareness. Secret 4, which is crucial for understanding male vitality, is that your natural testosterone production is directly stimulated by sexual activity, even when it is entirely solo. Here is something very few men understand about their own endocrine system, and most doctors fail to explain. Testosterone doesn't just decline with age in a predetermined, inevitable, and linear fashion. It drops faster and more significantly when you completely stop engaging sexually, when the body receives the signal that these systems are no longer in use. Testosterone is the very fuel for your energy, your physical strength, your personal drive, and your underlying confidence. When sexual energy is consistently ignored, suppressed, or deemed irrelevant, your body, in its clever efficiency, reallocates its resources, effectively deciding that those systems are no longer a biological priority, which in turn slows your metabolic rate, reduces muscle tone, and dulls your overall motivation and zest for life. Consider the case of Frank, a 73-year-old retired firefighter who came to my clinic. He hadn't been sexually active in years and felt profoundly slower, both mentally and physically, lacking the drive that had once defined him. His initial lab work confirmed clinically low testosterone levels. However, after he began gradually and intentionally re-engaging with his body through mindful, solo touch, focusing on sensation rather than performance, not only did his subjective energy and mood improve dramatically, but his follow-up hormone levels also showed a marked and sustainable improvement. The biological mechanism is clear. Even solo sexual stimulation sends a powerful, unequivocal message to the brain's pituitary gland, signaling, "I'm still alive, I'm still engaged," and these virility systems are still very much in demand and in use. Secret 5, a fundamental principle of urology, is that erectile function is a classic, use it or lose it, biological system. Many men operate under a dangerous and physiologically unsound assumption: I'm not having partnered sex, so I don't need to worry about the health or frequency of my erections. This line of thinking is fundamentally wrong and can lead to a rapid, preventable decline. Erectile function is both a complex vascular and a neurological process, reliant on healthy blood flow and robust nerve signaling. If the intricate mechanisms required for a firm erection go unused for prolonged periods, the blood flow to the penile tissues naturally decreases, the delicate tissue elasticity declines, and the crucial endothelial production of nitric oxide, a key molecule for dilating blood vessels, drops significantly. Psychologically, losing the ability to respond physically to stimulation can deeply diminish your core confidence and sense of masculine identity, creating a vicious cycle of anxiety and avoidance. The solution is straightforward, entirely within your control, and medically sound: maintain regular erections. Solo practice, even without the goal of climax, is sufficient to keep the vascular tissue healthy, ensure robust blood flow, and keep the necessary neural pathways active, primed, and ready for whatever life may bring. Secret 6, which is essential in our modern world, is that pornography, while not morally wrong, can change your brain's wiring. But the magnificent news is that you absolutely have the power to reclaim your natural sensitivity. From a clinical perspective, the concern is not about the content of pornography itself, but about how excessive consumption or a heavy reliance on high-speed, high-intensity, novel visual stimulation can rewire your brain's reward pathways, effectively numbing you to the more subtle, authentic sensations of real-world touch. This can lead to a phenomenon known as dopamine desensitization, where you require more and more intense and novel stimulation to feel the same level of arousal, resulting in reduced arousal with a real partner, porn-induced erectile dysfunction, and a general difficulty feeling pleasure from ordinary, loving physical contact. The solution is not necessarily to quit forever in an act of willpower, but to strategically step away from artificial stimuli for a period and actively, patiently retrain your nervous system using your own breath, your own imagination, and slow, intentional, and deeply mindful touch, rediscovering the vast landscape of sensation that exists within your own body. Finally, Secret 7, which is perhaps the most overlooked danger, is that physical and emotional isolation is the most perilous mistake an older man can make. We arrive at the hidden risk that older men rarely consider until it's too late: the profound danger of isolation from all forms of physical touch, which includes, critically, the complete absence of self-touch. Human beings are neurologically wired for physical contact. It is a basic biological need. Without it, your levels of oxytocin, the bonding, calmness, and connection hormone, drop precipitously, while stress hormones like cortisol rise, and this biochemical imbalance can negatively impact everything from your sleep quality and immune function to your overall brain activity and mood. Long-term, the body can interpret a complete lack of physical touch as a form of emotional and social retreat, a signal that it is time to shut down. Your sense of identity, your feeling of purpose, and your essential vitality can slowly fade in this void of sensation. The solution, therefore, is daily, intentional, and kind connection with your own body. Even a brief 10 minutes of mindful self-touch, not necessarily aimed at orgasm, can act as a reset button for your nervous system, improve your mood, and restore a vital sense of confidence and bodily ownership. Here's exactly how you can begin this transformative practice today, right where you are. Set aside just 10 minutes in a private, comfortable space where you will not be interrupted. Focus your attention on your breath and the raw, physical sensations in your body, deliberately avoiding any goal of speed or a finish line. The sole mission is simply to reconnect with the feeling of being alive in your body, with no agenda and, most importantly, with a conscious release of any guilt. Gradually, over days and weeks, you can increase your awareness of pleasure, presence, and the profound sense of connection with yourself. This simple, consistent ritual can, over time, restore physical sensitivity, promote a more youthful hormonal balance, and rebuild your emotional well-being from the inside out. You are not broken. You are not past your prime. Every cell, every nerve, every system in your body is intrinsically designed to respond to connection, to stimulation, and to life. Even after 60, 70, or far beyond, you possess the innate, biological capacity to reclaim your sexual function, rebuild your confidence and vitality, and restore joy and presence in your life. Your age is not a limit. It is a reminder that small, intentional, and knowledgeable changes, applied with consistency, can lead to a profound sense of freedom, comfort, and unshakable confidence. If you are ready to feel better, stronger, and more alive in your body, the time to start is today. Reconnect with yourself without shame, without pressure, and with the full dignity that you so richly deserve. And don't forget, if this honest, life-changing conversation resonates with you, like this video, comment, "I'm reclaiming my vitality," below as a public commitment to yourself, and subscribe for more honest health insights for men over 60, because your journey to vitality is just beginning.